Hello guys, it is Futon here, and this video is going to be showing is going to be about Ripper Demons in single target. Note, there's faster methods to do this with a cannon, but I know a lot of people hate this task, and I really want to shed light on it a little bit, because it really is a good task. It really is easy. There's nothing really wrong with it. As a note, also with the gear setup here, I'm in custom trim fit masterwork, and I'm going to warn you for anyone. I actually did make a mistake on this, but I'll talk while I change it. Um, for anyone wondering here, with regard to masterwork, masterwork's effect does not work on Ripper Demons for the one-hit KO. It will still hit through you. So if you're an Iron Man or something like, or hardcore, I'm sorry, be very wary that the Trim Masterwork effect will not protect you from the Ripper spec if you decide not to do it for that reason. However, with the gear set up in max gear, it is very easy to out DPS any of the specs, so it should never really hit you unless you really screw up. But anyway, the best way to do this is with Kopeshas, assuming that you have them. If you do not have Kopeshas, you're probably better off with Darklight. Magic works in Legacy, but it's not something I'm really going to be bringing up too much because I'm not a fan of the method, as it requires a lot more banking. But Ripper Demons are located in the mine, and it's still the best place to kill them even in single target. The distance you have to go between both in the PSD really is too much. But this really makes it plain and simple to come and get them. And again, there's so many here, and there's two sections here, and also you can no longer be PK'd by other people. That's a big turn off originally on release, is that you could be PK'd by other people's Rippers. As long as you don't target them, you cannot. I highly suggest a scrim with vampirism, and in my case, I'm going to be using a Steel Titan. You do not need to use a Steel Titan, but it is advisable if you have the vampirism scrim and have a decent understanding to pick up the food off the floor. Weapon poison is always good, and it does drop weapon poison as well for Iron Man. But basically for these, the first kill is always the worst. But Tuska's Wrath makes up for the DPS, but the general idea between them is just to shift between the targets, and when you kill them, to just literally bars to the next one, and then the DPS it down. Make sure that you're fire off, destroy, and assault as much as you can. They are your go-tos here. I would highly suggest against using Flurry because, again, you want to keep these in single target unless you're using a cannon with the magic. Just make sure you're paying attention to your health as well. You cannot let your health fall below, I believe it's 1/3, or else all the Ripper Demons automatically become aggro to you, and lol, another rapid key, I'll pick that up in a second. It's called a Bloodlust, and they'll still go after you. That does apply to PSD as well. There is no difference in Ripper Demons between the two locations at all with mechanics, pretty much. Alright. And also, it is advisable as well to bring a spring cleaner, unlike what I did. Please do not make this mistake. But Rippers are incredibly quick to do. They're one of the best tasks. You turning this off, you literally getting almost 3k Slayer XP per kill, and you see how fast these actually go. Just as a note, like I said, just make sure you're not using AoEs at all with this. Scythe is not advisable. With regard to single way. And note, this isn't the most efficient guide, and it's more or less a beginner's guide, but really Rippers do nothing special as long as you can out DPS a hit. I'm gonna try and force a Ripper to spec, but as you see, I am vastly outdoing the bar, and the bar grows per attack they land on you as well. So I'm just gonna use basics here and let this Ripper hopefully hit its spec, or I make it hit its spec. Alright, or not. Wow, this is like, see, this is where the problem comes in. It's like I really am struggling to get this Ripper to, I'll just turn on a retaliate off and let it just hit me, because yeah, these things are not that strong when you sit on task and you're in tier 90. Even tier 90, they're really not that strong. Yep, Steel Titan itself. You just use the Titan. It literally, I don't know what to say to that. I can't get into spec because, yeah, that's just, yeah. You see just how powerful the Titan can be. And it's like, yeah, that's the reason you use it. I didn't even like, and then the recoil from the armor spikes, they work wonders, but you burn a lot here. but still they are so good because it's every single hit it recoils from it, and then you can just get piled. But yeah, Rippers really, people just need to get used to them. Don't AoE them with a scythe. Use dual wield, and yeah, they're really not that bad. I mean, with a Titan, and also these things do drop sharks. It's in their drop table to replenish. Vampirism, Scrimshaw. There really is nothing to fear unless you really just don't have gear or anything like that. I mean, and the darklight is still good if you don't have much. But yeah, this is a real. I'm trying to struggle to understand how people hate this task. I mean, it's fear, but I mean, as long as you can understand what DPS is and have a Titan or something along that lines, and I mean, you're going for 120 Slayer, you should try to have a Titan, especially with the new 120 Herblore coming out with the Titan power boost, where you can just drink one of the pots and you can just spam it Titan specs. I mean, it's kind of destructive. And again, you do not want to have a demon familiar because it specs with this aggro everything. But in single way, there is no reason to ever skip a Ripper task. It is extremely good XP, and if nothing, and if nothing else, you can also sacrifice Scrimshaw, bring some food with you or whatever. These things don't deal a ton of damage, but they can if you're not careful. And like I said, just really, these are just combat dummies. There really is, if you can out DPS a spec, you'll never have to worry about it. People can't come in and PK you. I know that's one of the major points to this place. Another advice is to not bladed dive these things, because bladed dive is an AoE if you're not aware. Always barge between targets, and I mean, if you're killing them faster than you're barging, just walk to it. You should have mobile on your gear, which is 10 seconds. I wouldn't worry about the adrenaline from barge too much. But yeah, that's pretty much all there really is to this. It's not anything difficult at all. And like I said, I do use some food, but it's like, it really depends. And you want to make sure, and again, make sure you just stay above 1/3 your LP, else they will pile you. And that's really all there is to it. I mean, there's nothing really that special. You can probably go with this bar I have here. Actually, you can go to the bar and just click them and kill them. And you will out DPS it even without a Titan. And like I said, just make sure your purse stays up. You'll need a little bit of food here and there. But like I said, I've only used, 2 food and 20 kills or something like that. And this task goes by extremely quickly. It's only about a 15-minute task, if that. And that's just in single way. If you're doing this with a cannon, literally the task is like 5 minutes. But I'm not going to go into cannon methods for the sake of this video. I'll separate it out later if people show a bunch of interest in it. I'm not a fan of the method personally because I like more relaxing in my Slayer tasks. But it is a thing and I won't deny its existence. Okay, that was, I don't know what in the world happened there. I got a little bit of lag and no overload and that. Alright, so yeah, does use up a little bit of food. And also you can go ahead, and I will do this after the kill, you can change the brightness in here to be able to see better. So you can go into your skybox and put midday is a good one. So now you can see every single thing on the floor. Easier to see the sharks, because a lot of times when I was doing this, I was doing it on that night or whatever the normal one is. And also be wary of mutated bards here, or greater bards as it's now called. You could also apply bleed effects here if you want to wait a few seconds after killing them to pick up the loot. You could do that and you can instantly barge into the next one and lay a bleed on it. I don't have nothing on cooldown, but with that being said, you can flurry them and apply the mutated flurry or greater flurry, as they've changed the name of it. But yeah, that's pretty much all there really is to Rippers. There's nothing really special about them. As long as you are able to accurately out DPS the bar, then no problems at all. And again, trim masterwork doesn't work. My Titan out DPSs these things anyway, and it's kind of hard to show. I'm kind of hoping the elite spawns in the next few seconds, because the elite generally I don't kill fast enough. But again, I'm kind of wrong with this. And also these things drop decent Zammy ones as well. I think it's like 2 to 5 or something like that. 5 will beam, especially with the new herbivore. And these also drop weapon poison, salvage. I mean, these things have good drops. There's nothing wrong with them. And also devotion is also very nice here if you want to use it to pick up like a drop or something like that. And as for the unique items here, there are currently 2 unique items which are affected by task. One of which you saw earlier, which was a raptor claw, which I believe is a 1 in 256 now. That is part of that raptor claw, raptor key. It's one of shoot. Don't want bloodlust. It's one of 4 parts of to open up the chest at birth rope. It normally has a lot of there's a few convenience items, VIP tickets in it. It does have the chance for the weapons. However, the weapons from the raptor key will not count for the Slayer log. I checked that considering just how many raptor keys I have from these things. I'm probably gonna honestly almost hit 7 or 10,000 kills this video. Either way, the also other 2 drops are the Ripper Claw and the offhand variant. Each of them have a personal drop rate of 1 in 2,000, so it's effectively a 1 in 1,000 rate to see either or. Note though, you can go horrendously dry, as what cost me first Ultimate Slayer was these mobs. The claws themselves pretty much just increase in damage as you use them on the target. They're equivalent to nearly a Dragor. They're still only like $1 or something in price, which isn't actually that terrible as a drop, but these things are just such good XP that the fact that they drop a weapon like that too is kind of, I think, a little bit ridiculous. Soon they will be dropping the pet as well, if you guys have been watching the game jam, but I will not be going into any detail on that until the pet is actually confirmed to be released, because I don't want to put any speculation into this video on these things. But other than that, that's pretty much all the drops here. And that's really all there is for Rippers. Nothing really special. If they do their jump, if their bar gets to full, what you do is you keep running away until you see a shadow, and make sure you're at least 2 to 3 squares away from that shadow. Generally, the best thing to do is to just, yeah, here's sharks like on the floor. You see, food. Generally, the best thing to do is to just run until they do their spec, like run into the other room. They will teleport you if you try to run away, as right here, they will just instantly move to you. And oh yes, and I almost forgot, these items exist. Oh my, luckily I got this on video. The cursed sand, Evercust sand. This is worth 11 mil, as you see here, and it is a 1 in 1,000 drop rate. Wow, that's not bad for a video. Yeah, they're 1 in 1,000 from any raptor mob. So when I go into the others, I'll be going into that as well. And if you're wondering why, what they do is you add them to a Ushopti and they increase the catch chance by 50%. Which is kind of ironic that I actually forgot that, considering that's my 16th sand on Slayer Log. So yeah, you get those too. So Ripper Demons can end up being stupid profit. It really can. Considering how many you can kill an hour, you should get one like every 4 to 5 hours of Rippers. So yeah, you can kill them that fast with a cannon. And even with single way, this is going to be literally still at least 200 kills an hour, which equates to over a mil Slayer XP per hour. It's kind of just crazy, and these are only level 96 as well. But that really is my ending of my rant for single way Rippers. Hopefully all this information was helpful and not total overload. And I'll see what I get next for tasks. I'm kind of doing this if I think of something for video orders. Don't expect nothing next. I'll see what I get. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you guys for the next one.